What suggestions to somebody wanting to start a reading business or site? Great question. Well, first and foremost, be sure that this is what you want to do, because it can seem really exciting at first, but it's going to become a job. Let's begin with that right there. And you're going to become very busy, especially if you're very good at it. An amazing tarot reader is an extreme high demand anymore. You see it on YouTube. Anybody that's got their salt, man, they're swamped. They're swamped anymore. Because a lot of people are having consciousness expansion. And generally, in my experience, the first place that somebody goes to when they have some kind of consciousness expansion is the world of the tarot. They're like, wow, how'd that person know that all about me? How do they read those cards like that? I don't understand what those cards mean. Boy, they just told me everything that, that's been going on in my world and gave me some advice. And I think that advice might be good and I might apply it to my life. So that's the first thing, is to realize that this is really what you want to do. God, when I started YouTube, I didn't know. I just was having fun 3 years ago and throwing cards out. And I never expected that it would turn into a full-time, full-blown business, because, well, 3 years ago, YouTube Tarot was a little different. Maybe there was 1,000 YouTube readers back then. I don't know how many there are anymore. A lot, huh? I don't know. 5, 6, 10,000. A lot, man. It's too much fun. What suggestions do I have for you? I mean, if you're thinking about a YouTube channel, I love YouTube. YouTube is amazing. It's free. It goes worldwide. So the first thing I did when I thought that I wanted to put myself on YouTube was I practiced, right? I set up my camera, and I still use my camera. Now, this is off my computer here because I can only send it to members off my computer. But, I mean, I love that iPhone 11. That iPhone 12 is amazing. Going to get my hands on one soon, very soon. Amazing cameras on it. Sets in a stand really nice. It's got the nice rectangle profile to it. Just set it up and get your stuff, a backdrop's nice. I mean, this is nice, I mean, a lot of tarot readers on YouTube, they're doing it in their bedroom. They're doing it in their kitchen. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Make it a little more mystical, right? Make it a little more fun and people to click on it, when they see your picture right there. Decide if you want to do it with your face or with your hands, first and foremost, right? Either way is fine with me. Both take great courage. And turn the camera on and throw a spread out and act like you're reading for the world, because you're going to become a world-class reader if you stick around on YouTube for long enough, because you're going to be reading for people all around the world. It's absolutely going to change your life too. I guarantee you that. And practice, right? First time when I did it, I'd look at that camera and I'd be like, oh, no, delete, right? The next day, source is like, Mike, go in there and do another tarot reading, Mike. All right, let's set it all up, put it all up there, throw the cards out, hey, Scorpio, and put it out, look at it and go, no, delete. But eventually one day came where I did a spread and I looked at it and I went, to be honest, Mike, that's pretty good. And somebody probably needs this message, right? And I had my YouTube channel all set up and ready to go. Just didn't have any videos on it. And that was it that day, right? Post. And then I had to go do another 11 videos after that, right? So it's just practice and you feel comfortable, and eventually Source is going to tell you, hey, somebody needs that message out there. Go ahead and post it up. Now, before I did YouTube, as part of the answer to your other question right here, I think it's if you can, to get out there and do it in public. And I know it's a little challenging these days to get out and do it in public, but I spent several years before I went on YouTube at festivals, I live in the Daytona Beach area, so we have a lot of festivals in this area. I would set up my little table and my little Ramblin Mike banner at Bike Week and Spring Break. And, you know, and a lot of times you would sit there and be quiet. Nobody comes sitting down. They kind of look at you, you know, like, what's that over there, you know. It's just me, a little tarot reader over here. I would have people come and harass you. How dare you? How dare you? It's like, how dare me what? I'm just sitting here. How dare me what? To get out there, and I did flea markets, all kinds of fun stuff where I would sit down with strangers, you know, because tarot will always start with you playing with the cards, you know, for yourself, learning the meanings of them yourself, and then, you know, you will go and ask your friends, hey, can I read some cards for you? I may not be very good at it, but I'd love to practice. Would you let me read? And you're going to read for them, but you know them, right? And I'm family members. And now eventually friends and family, if you get any good, they're not going to want you to read for them anymore because they don't want you to know their secrets, right? At that point, now it's time for you to go and find some strangers to read for, right? And that's where getting out in the public, however source would lead you to do that. I was blessed. I live in the Daytona Beach area. We got lots of festivals, and I was just brave just to get out there with a whole bunch of drunk bikers and set my my tarot cards up. A bunch of drunk college students and set my tarot cards up. And then I decided to go to flea markets and festivals. Just really had a really great time until people started telling me, sitting across the table from me, hey, you're pretty good. Maybe you need to put yourself on YouTube. Bam. And that's how things will unfold for you, right? Source will always unfold it for you just like that as we go through life. So those are my suggestions, you know. Love yourself. Do what's best for you. Be brave. Step out. Have confidence in yourself. Play with your friends and your family first. They're not going to want to play with you after a while because you're going to get good. They don't want you to know. So then it's time to go read for strangers and all that. If you're considering just going straight out on YouTube, you're going to just jump into the water, go for it. Set your camera up and put yourself, only you're going to see it, right? You can delete it anytime that you want. Get your YouTube channel set up, right? Because one day Source is going to go, hey, you know, you should post that, right? So I hope that answered your questions right there. One thing that you definitely want to do if you're a tarot enthusiast is to put yourself together some kind of journal, right? Handmade by you about each and every card. And many of you have seen my journal, but some of you haven't seen my journal. I still write in my journal. I've had it for years. I got, you know, the old Yes You Can back in the day. It's got Pandora from, what is that? Tarot Apocalyptus on the outside. But I took old tarot decks that I had, trimmed them down, tarot decks that I wasn't playing with. This is, I don't even remember. This is the Radiant. Oh, what is that? The Wood. And this is some kind of old school one. I didn't play with these very much, but they were laying around. I cut them down, bobbed the corners, and stuck them on the pieces of paper. That's how I started my journal, putting it together. They have the same 3 decks in it. Now, I'm not telling you this exactly how to do it, but it's how I did mine. The first thing I did was find some tarot decks and trim them down so I could put them on a piece of paper. And I went all the way through all of them and I stuck them all down. Then I went back and began to do the work, right? Study in the books and write down buzzwords, what I got here, keywords, and just descriptions out of other books and whatnot that I found. All kinds of stuff you can clip out of other books if you want to put them in your own journal, upright meanings, reverse meanings, and just begin to put your own journal together. Does this take some time? Yeah. Absolutely does. But I mean, when you spend this kind of time with 78 cards, guess what? You're going to learn. You're going to learn 78 cards. That's what you want if you want to be a tarot reader, right? So I definitely encourage everybody out there to have some kind of journal. And the best way that I did it was I found old tarot decks. I'm not saying it's the only way. It's how I did it. I found old tarot decks. I trimmed them down so I could put 3 or 4 of them on each page. And then when I got that all done, then I began to write about and just let it flow. And I pretty much put it together all the same because it went in the same spots in my journal and all that. But that thing has been around me. That's my baby right there. And and that I did that journal before I stepped out into public, right? I worked in that journal when I was reading for friends and family. And when I completed the journal, it was pretty much time for me to take it out to the public, but I may not have had the understanding of the tarot that I particularly needed to read for strangers. So many times I would say to them, that card right there, I'm going to take a look at the book. And of course, the other people sitting on the other side of the table be like, oh, they're going to look in the book. But when you grab, your book and you go, well, this is my book. This is the book I read on tarot right here. They go, oh, well, what does your book say? So it really helped me to have, in the beginning, when I went out into the public, to have a nice journal that I spent a lot of time with and the understanding of the cards. And then, of course, it was no problem. I flipped right to the page right there, 4 of Cups right here. It's all laid out for me, all the keywords, all that stuff, descriptions from other books and whatnot. And it really, really helped me in the beginning of taking it to the public to have my book. I mean, this thing gave me great comfort to be with me when I was out there on the streets meeting strangers, telling them things that they didn't even know about themselves, right? I love it. All right.